Life in Jeanne Jugan's France.
The year was 1839. In the 5 years that had passed since the death of Mademoiselle Lecoq, Jeanne Jugan had moved into a second-floor apartment with 2 other women who shared her commitment to the teachings of St. John Eudes. The 3 kept body and soul together through occasional part-time maid service to wealthy households.
According to town records, that winter, 3,500 of Saint-Servant's 10,000 residents were paupers. The majority of these were elderly widows and family members of lost seafarers. Many were homeless. There was no social safety net in that town or in all of France. If you were alone, elderly, and infirm in Saint-Servant, you most likely would not survive the winter. One evening, at the age of 47, the fulfillment of St. Jeanne Jugan's prophecy began to unfold. By stepping through her door into the frigid, wintry blasts of the Celtic Sea and onto the streets of Saint-Servant, Jeanne Jugan embarked upon a work that was unknown to the world, unknown even to herself, known only by God. The life of the Little Sisters of the Poor began.
The woman's name was Jeanne Jugan. She was blind, ill, and elderly. She was alone in the winter of Saint-Servant, alone in the winter of life. To Jeanne Jugan, she was Jesus Christ. Jeanne took Anne into her home and gave the woman her own bed. Jeanne moved into the attic. The action was uncomplicated and totally unnoticed by the world. Jeanne Jugan had simply given all she could to a person who could give nothing in return. And in that very little act of faith, a seed was planted in very fertile soil. That seed is called charism, a special gifting of the Holy Spirit. That little apartment in Saint-Servant was filled with God's special grace.
Jeanne sought the approval of her companions before offering their companionship and their home to Anne, for it was to be the will and action of a community of believers. It wasn't long before they sought her approval, before they brought in another elderly woman. Together, the 3 servants of Christ cared for the 2. But that was just the beginning.